Sorry, puppies. Not right now. What's going on? It is a beautiful day today. It rained hard yesterday. Actually, it's still, can't really tell, but it's pretty darn muddy. Did not get outside at all yesterday. It came down so hard, so heavy. The driveway looked like a creek of just running water. It was pretty crazy. Today we're gonna go ahead and let the goats out and do their own thing for a minute. Probably should shut the power to the fence off, but you can hear that snapping. The snapping, this is what happens after it rains really heavy. The posts get loose and everything kind of folds in a little bit, and then the fence itself folds down and it's grounding out over there, and it is shocking hard and heavy. Now we can let the goats out. You guys ready? Goats and chicken. So I noticed when we first got the goats and we had them out here in the lawn or the pasture, whatever you want to call it, they would not eat grass at all. They avoided it at all costs. They would go for the dry leaves, things like that. Now that they've been in this little dry lot winter paddock, pretty beat down, not much going on other than just the hay that we feed them. We let them out. If you could hear this right now, they are just pulling chunks of grass out and they're just destroying the grass right now. They are loving it. So, which is good, because at the end of the day, this is what I want. I want to turn this into a full-blown pasture with some rotational grazing ideas behind it. We want to do some fencing and split it up, create separate little paddock areas and grow, rotate, grow, move them around and do that whole thing. So that is the plan, but they seem to be enjoying this nice green thick grass, but they are still in their little paddock most of the time. So I still get their hay in here, and it poured rain, so the cover keeps a lot of it dry, but a little bit of moisture does get in here. Toss a little bit out, and of course, I've yet to build the cover for their mineral bucket thing. We are getting down there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 hay bales left, which is actually pretty good, because I think I only had just over 30 at the beginning of winter, and I was hoping it would last. And I think we only went through about 20 hay bales. Isn't that bad, considering the grass is already getting green. It's actually getting pretty long. So we might be able to get them out here in the grass, hopefully before we run out of hay, obviously. Let's see if we can sneak in here, get their grain before they rush me. Uh-oh, Looker sees me. Here they come. Here they come. Still beat them. Got it. Top the mineral off, and we are dead. What is going on? There we go. I'm actually not going to be closing up the shed because yesterday in the pouring rain, I stopped by Tractor Supply. I put an order in for grain. We have the meat chickens coming in like a few days. I put an order in for what I think is going to be all of the chicken feed that I'm going to need for the entire 8 weeks of their life while they're on the property. And I was a few bags short of 20 bags, so I ended up throwing in some goat food also. Put me right over 20 bags. At 20 bags, you get a bulk discount. So I saved like 5% per bag, which doesn't add up to a lot, but 20 bags worth, it ends up being like a free bag. So a cost per chicken will be, a little cheaper, which is all good. So I'm gonna bring the goat feed down here, and then we're gonna run the chicken feed up to the deer shack multi-purpose shed thing that we got going on. So I'm gonna leave this open because we'll be back in just a few minutes. And also, while it was pouring rain yesterday, we didn't do much of anything besides make sure the animals had some food and water. I did not check the eggs, so I have a feeling there's gonna be a bunch of eggs today. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, not too bad. You know what? I think my son probably grabbed the eggs this morning. I think he probably came out here. He would have lowered the bar, probably grabbed them. There's only 4 in here. Oh yeah. There's like 4 more way back in there. So I'm going in, I guess. Oh. It's actually easier while I'm in here to just put them right into the nesting box and let them roll out on their own rather than trying to hold it in my hands while I crawl through that little space. So there's actually 5 more eggs. Then I can just retrieve them from back here. So 5, so we had 9 eggs. So I'm thinking my son probably did come. Okay, I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna set these in my pocket. I'm gonna go straight to the house and unload them. All right, eggs have been securely dropped off at the house. And here is our 20 bags of feed. Because I picked this up yesterday and it was pouring rain when we picked it up, I left it in here and I wanted the tonneau cover down, so I just tossed all the bags down low to get it below the surface. And I'm really hoping the bags did not leak or anything, because this pallet was sitting outside at the store. There was puddles of water all over this thing. Trying to think how I wanted to unload this the best way possible. I could just back the truck up to both sheds, but the pallet is pushed far enough back that I'd have to hand unload the pallet to my tailgate and then jump down, grab the feed bags from the tailgate, and then carry them to the location inside the sheds. But if I can get the pallet forks under the tractor we can just pick up the whole pallet and we'll drive it right to each location. So I chose the tractor. We're gonna go ahead and swap this out. The only thing is my pallet forks are clear in the back, behind the backhoe, which is not attached to the tractor. It's actually sitting on the ground behind the tractor. And I don't know if there's enough room between the riggers on the backhoe and this stuff to fit the pallet forks. So I'm gonna pull the tractor out. We're gonna see if we can finagle the forks out of here. All right, relieve the pressure off the grapple, and I should be able to now disconnect the hoses. There we go. Before we disconnect that, I'm gonna see if I can get this pallet fork pulled out of here, which I think should slide right through here. I put it on a set of like a dolly, a handmade dolly. I made for this thing specifically actually to sit on, but it didn't quite work, but it worked good to place the pallet forks on. And then I stood the pallet forks up and it seems to roll pretty nice. And this way it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Oh, look at that. Just enough room. Not too bad. And once I get this over here, I just lay this down. Probably not the smoothest thing in the world, but it seems to work. Just like that. Now I just gotta hook up. There we go. My forks might be too far apart. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slide them in. There we go. Now, good news, I am going to be unloading 250 pounds from this pallet, so it'll make the ride back up a little bit easier. All right, now we can take the rest up to our multi-use shed, chicken brooder, deer shack. Just like that, we have all the rest of the bags over at our new chicken brooder. This is 750 pounds of feed. We're gonna go ahead and unload into the shed. All right, ready? Got her? Nice. Got her? Yeah. There's deer over there in the driveway. They're checking us out.
I can see.
Meh. All right, 750 pounds of chicken feed, and that should last us the entire life of the chickens while they're here on the property before we take them in for butchering. But we're gonna call it good for today. Hope you enjoyed it. See y'all next time. Later.